We are officially back, man. And a transfer window. There's news every day, man. And this Bryan Mbeumo deal, it just twisted from nowhere. From nowhere. As United fans, we thought this deal was over the line. We thought that second bid was gonna be accepted. But hey, twists, drama, and difficulties, right? Looks like Brentford, they just want to be difficult right now. They just want fleece us for more money. And of course, Bryan Mbeumo, he's an unbelievable player, but you can see, okay, Brentford, they're trying to just take advantage of everything they have, take advantage of everything possible, bro, because hey, this deal, it's really dragging on now. It is really dragging on. We need to get it over the line. And the major news from guys like Fabrizio, guys like David Ornstein, they are coming out just to update us on what is genuinely going on with this Bryan Mbeumo news. And this just shows you, okay, in this transfer window, I think two guys, we gotta just be waiting for two guys, Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein. Those are the two we gotta be waiting for, because other journalists, they were saying, hey, this Bryan Mbeumo deal, it's over the line. They were saying that he's gonna be a Man United player and this week, right? So let's just hear a bit about what Fabrizio has to say, man.
And on Bryan Mbeumo, guys, I keep receiving many questions. I can tell you that today, even if it's Sunday, the contacts continue, even today, between Manchester United and Brentford. So constant contacts between the two clubs to reach an agreement for Bryan Mbeumo. There is still no here we go, but Man United keep working on that. Man United keep advancing. Man United keep their confidence and their optimism to make the deal happen. So Manchester United are going very strong for Bryan Mbeumo, and now the feeling is quite positive on that one once again. So don't forget the Bryan Mbeumo deal for the next days and for the next week also, because Man United will be pushing and pushing again to get it over the line. And so the here we go is still a strong possibility for Bryan Mbeumo.
Look, we know, okay, this deal is gonna be over the line, but it's just a matter of when, because you keep it dragging on, and we have so much news coming out about Tyrell Malacia, news about Diego Leon, one of our young players, Diego Leon. He's flying to Manchester and he's gonna be unveiled, right? He's gonna be revealed. Official statement from the club. We know when we signed Diego Leon, there wasn't really an official statement, right? There wasn't really an him in a Man United shirt. We've never seen that. So that's more news for today, and Edison as well. So there's a lot going on with Manchester United, man. Yeah, we need like just to get this deal over the line right now, because Bryan Mbeumo, it's been dragging on for too long, right? And as United, let's just focus on, okay, getting these players in before that preseason, at least before that preseason. You still have what, in 20 more days? So in 20 more days, can we get this Bryan Mbeumo deal over the line? I hope so. I hope that is the case. But yo, we have so much going on, right? And I do believe, yo, we will go for like a midfielder as well, because Fabrizio and other sources, they are hinting that, okay, a midfield is a priority. Striker, midfield, those are priorities for Manchester United. But hey, just reading the statement of what David Ornstein said, right? So David Ornstein, he came out right when this bid was genuinely rejected, right? He broke it down, and he was saying, hey, Bryan Mbeumo has told Brentford and Tottenham that he will only join Manchester United. We know that this has been the case. This has been the situation. He only wants Man United. But David Ornstein went on to say, if he does leave this summer, Man United need to just genuinely offer more, right? So he said, hey, Man United are still short of Brentford's valuation, but talks are still going, bro. Talks are still going. And yeah, Tottenham, they're not even in the conversation. He rejected Tottenham, but he's saying the valuation is short, right? So David Ornstein, he didn't specify what valuation, the main bid, the add-ons, so we don't know what's really going on with this Bryan Mbeumo deal. What's the valuation Man United are short on? Is it the main deal? Do we need more money from the main deal? Do we need more money from the add-ons? So it's yeah, it's just frustrating that okay, we haven't gotten this deal over the line, but I think we will get it over and done with Brentford. I think they want the best deal guaranteed, right? I think they're trying to get as much guaranteed money as possible because we know in football there are a lot of deals, there are a lot of add-ons, things like that. Situations where okay, the add-ons are only triggered when you achieve this, when the player achieves that, or this or that. So Brentford, I think they are trying to just get as much money as possible from Manchester United, and let's just hope this situation doesn't drag on until the final days of the transfer window because we do need this guy in and ready. So hey, Bryan and Mbeumo, I hope in the coming days that does develop, but now it's just about Gyökeres, bro, what's really going on with this man? Because we know we need a striker, and he's probably the guy Ruben wants. He's probably the guy Ruben has been chasing. So Gyökeres, oh, let's just hear Fabrizio, man.
Is a Manchester United player. Guys, I wanted to mention also something on the Viktor Gyökeres saga. Because for Viktor Gyökeres was a very tense Sunday. What happened? The president of Sporting, Federico Barandas, announced in public that he doesn't sell Gyökeres for 60 million euros plus 10 in adults. He said, I'm not accepting that. The player is not leaving for that money. We are not asking for the release clause, 100 million euros, but we are not selling for 60 plus 10. So the final fee would be something probably around 80, 85 million euros, according to Sporting. But the answer coming from
These guys are crazy, 80 to 85 million. So you can see with Gyökeres, he won't be cheap. He won't be cheap, man.
Gyökeres is very clear. Gyökeres spoke to Sporting, spoke directly to the president, and told them that he doesn't want to play for Sporting again. He will not show up for training again. He wants the pact made 1 year ago to be respected. 60 million euros plus 10 in advance. This is the transfer fee that Viktor Gyökeres wants to be respected. And so at the moment, Gyökeres has no intention to show up for training anymore.
I, I get why he doesn't really want to show up for training, things like that, because 80 million, right? Obviously, that's what Sporting genuinely want. And I see a situation where the player has no say. And Fabrizio's right. If this transfer goes on, it might just be about
No intention to
price
change his
tag.
relationship with Sporting. He feels betrayed. He feels sad about the situation. And so now it's on Sporting and Gyökeres to find a solution with the player giving priority to Arsenal, with Man United still looking at the situation, more clubs attentive to Viktor Gyökeres' case. But the price is the crucial part, and Sporting remain on their position. But now, big fireback from the player and his camp. So let's
So hey, it's just a price tag situation right now. And Fabrizio, he only mentioned two major clubs, right? Arsenal, Manchester United. We know we have been in for Gyökeres. We know, hey, he is a realistic target. Ruben does want him, but looks like it might just go down to price tag because 80 million as well. Are Man United gonna pay that? It's just made things harder, bro. It's just made things harder because so we heard Fabrizio there. They're quoting Sporting want 80 to 85 million for Gyökeres. And I understand why Sporting Lisbon do want that much. If Gyökeres was playing for Man United and he wanted to leave, I think, I wouldn't blame Sir Jim Ratcliffe for saying, no, you're not leaving for 60 million. You're going to leave for 80, 85 million and above, right? I understand that from the Sporting Lisbon side, right? From the people that own Sporting, I understand that. Okay, let's get as much money. If you're going to leave us with some cash. But from the Man United's point of view, we want this man to be cheap. So, hey, it's a complicated situation, man. It is a complicated situation with Gyökeres, right? Obviously, from our point of view, we want this guy to be cheap, but from Sporting, they're viewing it as okay. Yeah, we want to get as much money as possible for Viktor Gyökeres, right? So, this will drag on as well. I do believe okay, this is gonna drag on if we do somehow get Gyökeres, and this is why I think nothing has really happened. No bid for Gyökeres has happened yet because of this whole disorganization behind the scenes, right? You can see Gyökeres, he's fighting with the people above at Sporting. He's fighting for a move. He's handing in transfer requests. So I think clubs are just analyzing the situation. Okay, what's gonna go on? Is this guy gonna force his way out? Because if he does, that means his price tag might just go down a bit. But hey, do I honestly think we're gonna get Gyökeres? Bro, especially with this price tag, it's gonna be harder though. It is gonna be harder, right? Because we know Sir Jim and the Glazers, they won't really spend too much, especially 80 million, 85 million. I think those days are gone where Man United are just overspending, overcommitting, spending too much. I think those days are gone. Even with Mbeumo, I know people are saying, okay, Mbeumo, we are spending too much. He's not worth this. He's not worth that. But with the Mbeumo situation, it's a bit more complicated, man, because he is a Premier League player, right? It's not like Mbeumo is trying to force himself out. With Gyökeres, it's like he's trying to force himself out. The clubs know that, okay, this guy wants to go out. So it's almost like a Rashford situation. I'm not saying it's the same situation, but it's almost like a Rashford situation where the club needs to sell. Other clubs know that, okay, Sporting, you need to sell Gyökeres. He's not happy. He's forcing his way out. So clubs are just playing chess, bro. Clubs right now, they're playing 4D chess. Okay, you need to sell this man. Well, it's either you sell him now for a reasonable price or in a season or two, because apparently Gyökeres is in his last year at Sporting or something like that. The years are not a lot, right? So they might be playing 4D chess just like Real Madrid did with Liverpool, bro. They might be saying, okay, either sell him now for cheap or he'll come for us for free. So you choose, you choose. So, hey, with Gyökeres, it's like 4D chess right now. I think a lot of clubs are playing 4D chess. The Sporting Lisbon, they're trying to they're trying to rinse him for money, and other clubs are just checking the situation, bro. Yeah, this window is crazy, bro. This window is crazy. A lot of players, and it's just the fluctuation, bro. After that Neymar signing, I think now players are going for over 100 million is now common, bro. After that Neymar signing, because 100 million. When we bought Pogba, I think Pogba was what, 80 something or 90. So when we bought Pogba, it was a lot of money. People were shocked. Oh, wow. How are Man United doing this? But then you can see now Liverpool are breaking transfer records, and it's just a crazy time in the transfer window, bro. Like we remember when we bought Pogba, that type of money was insane. But now we're seeing other clubs spending 100 million like it's nothing, spending 50 million like it's nothing, 60 million now. You can't even get a Langa, bro. 50 million, you can't even get a Langa. So that's how crazy this transfer window is, right? It's crazy, bro. Players like Elanga are gonna go for over 50 million. And even with that Elanga situation, if he is sold, we have a sell on close, so it's just beneficial for Man United as well. And Gyökeres, man, they will drain this guy for money. They will try and drain this man for money. They will try and just take him out. And this is another video from Fabrizio. The moment Sky Sports, because Sky Sports, they're the ones that came out to say, okay, yeah, Gyökeres, he's been refused to genuinely leave, right? Apparently sorry, not Gyökeres, Mbeumo was rejected. So Fabrizio Romano right after that came out with this. This is a different video.
Many questions tonight, and so I wanted to do this video also to reply to Manchester United fans, because the reports are about Brentford rejecting a bid from Manchester United for Bryan Mbeumo. Guys, the understanding is that Brentford constantly mention in the talks they're having also with Manchester United the price tag of other players in the market when they mention Mbeumo. This is why they want more than what Manchester United offered with their second bid. But my understanding is not that Brentford rejected the bid and talks stopped. My understanding is that the conversations between Man United and Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo continue. So the two clubs are again in talks. The two clubs are trying to find a solution. Manchester United remain calm. Manchester United remain confident. Manchester United remain optimistic because the player, as I told you days ago, is giving total priority to Man United. Wants to go to Man United and told Brentford that he wants to go to Man United, as I told you a few days ago. So the position is very clear. He wants to wear red next season. Now Manchester United remain in active talks with Brentford to reach an agreement on the transfer fee. As of tonight, no agreement, but in the next days, this conversation will continue. Man United will try to find a final solution for Bryan Mbeumo to join the club, but for sure, this story is still active, is still alive, is not over after a bid rejected or a proposal turned down. So relax and let's see what's going to happen.
So hey, Fabrizio is saying, hey, just calm down. Talks are still ongoing, and we heard from the other video, the previous video I showed, that okay, Man United might just increase the valuation, right? It might be an increase on add-ons, an increase on the initial bid, but Man United will increase. Talks are still ongoing. That's the same statement from David Ornstein. Talks are still ongoing. They haven't genuinely given up on this deal, right? So it's just a frustrating situation where okay, we thought by this time the guy's preparing for his medical, but now you're still at that stage where you have to agree a fee, you have to agree the initial fee. That stage, apparently, right now we haven't really passed that stage, right? We still need to pass that stage and then obviously sign all the documents, and then he can have his medical. But we're still at square one, right? Agreeing a fee with Brentford. And with Brentford, they're being difficult because, hey, Premier League, there's money, bro. Got clubs they don't really need to sell. Clubs they don't really need to let go their players, their best players. So I think this situation we're in is just because there's so much money in the Premier League. A club like Brentford, they can play hard to get because they already have enough money, right? They can reject a 60 million pound bid because hey, they already have that Premier League money, that Premier League check. So it's not a situation of oh, a long time ago where clubs needed to sell. Oh, in La Liga. If this was a La Liga team, bro, Bryan Mbeumo is a Man United player by now because they're not really rejecting a 60 M's type of offer. But Premier League teams, we know how hard it is to negotiate with Premier League teams. They have money, they're comfortable, they don't need to sell. So, hey, it's frustrating. And I understand a lot of fans. Some fans are saying walk away. But I truly believe we will get this deal over the line, man. You have always said this deal is going to be around 68 million. It might be, bro. It might be like 68 million. Bro, they want more, right? We bid what, 60 million? They want more. It's short of their valuation. So that's what David Ornstein said. That's what Fabrizio Romano said. The bid we made is short of their valuation. So I won't even be shocked if it goes to, if they're trying to rinse us for like 70 M's, bro. I won't even be shocked. So let's see how this deal actually progresses, man, because it's been frustrating for a lot of fans. Okay, we're waiting for this deal to be over the line. At least this deal, it should be a situation where he's preparing. He's preparing for something, bro. Yeah, bro. We just need to. I think we will offer more. We've heard Fabrizio. Talks are ongoing, right? Talks are ongoing. We also David Ornstein, he put out a statement. Talks are still ongoing, but Man United would try and reach an agreement close to their valuation, right? They value the player at a certain price point, right? So Man United, are we gonna reach an agreement? I hope so, bro, because this deal has been dragging on. This deal, it's actually getting frustrating, right? It is actually getting extremely frustrating, man. We are really in for Gyökeres. Fabrizio Romano said it himself, bro. We are really in for Gyökeres. Man United, Arsenal, those are the clubs really in for this guy. And it's also a situation of Ruben Amorim, bro. I do believe, okay, behind the scenes, it's Ruben Amorim chasing that deal, right? Because let's just be, if we had another manager, I don't think we would have been going for Gyökeres. It's just basis of, okay, Ruben has coached this guy, Ruben loves this man, and he's the guy Ruben wants, right? He's the guy Ruben wants as the main as the main striker. And I understand your worries. Okay, what if he's another Rasmus Højlund, right? Doing it in another league. He comes to Man United and doesn't really do well. But with Gyökeres, I think it's a different situation, bro. It's a different situation because Gyökeres, he has played in the championship before. And with Gyökeres, he had more experience. When we signed Erasmus Højlund, he was what, up and coming, but he never did anything in the Champions League. Rasmus Højlund, right? We have to be realistic. When we signed Rasmus Højlund, he wasn't like Gyökeres, where Gyökeres is scoring goals in the Champions League. Gyökeres is the top goal scorer in his league, right? With Rasmus, he wasn't any of those, right? We signed a young player where, okay, he hasn't really achieved a lot, but then scouts were saying, hey, he might be the next big thing. That was Rasmus Højlund. But with Gyökeres, he's doing it in the Champions League. He's doing it in his league. He's one of the highest goal scorers in Europe. And I understand, some fans may not really like the way Gyökeres plays, but yeah, it's a different situation, man. You're saying you're saying you think we are too slow in this transfer window. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Like, I would have been comfortable if Mbeumo was at least over the line. Now that this deal is dragging on, obviously, so we heard some more quotes from Fabrizio Romano saying, okay, it should be okay if we sell Sancho and possibly Anthony. I think we should be able to get a deal over the line, man. Yeah, shout out the Trinidad, bro. Shout out, yeah, your support as well, bro. Shout out your support. And yeah, bro, we just need to get this over the line, man. Get this over the line. Fabrizio has been giving us updates on both Gyökeres and Bryan Mbeumo. With the Bryan Mbeumo situation, it's just that these guys have too much money, bro. The Premier League teams have too much money. It's not a situation where it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be a walkover. We know how these deals are actually present, bro. So there was also another story about like Edison, right? Obviously, after this whole saga of Bryan Mbeumo, a striker, we will go in for a midfielder. So there's also a story about Edison just recently coming out. We might go in for him. Apparently, last summer, Manchester United offered 50 million euros for Edison, right? But Atlanta wanted 60 million euros. So it's thought of, these reports are saying it's thought of that Man United and Atlanta are still currently in talks. So apparently that deal is still happening behind the scenes. Edison, Man United, maybe it might be another situation of, because when we signed Delit, it came out of nowhere, right? Of course, there were rumors of Delit, this and that, but we can see Ineos, they're moving in silence with some of their deals, bro. They are moving in silence. Aid in Heaven, that deal, we didn't find out about that before maybe 3-4 days before it was done, right? Patrick Dogu as well, it was done quickly, this and that. So I do believe some of the deals we do, they're gonna be done in silence, bro. We only hear about it a week before, and I do believe, okay, Edison is that type of player where we are trying to get it over the line in silence, bro. You're saying if Ruben doesn't get his players for preseason, I don't see any chance from any change from last season. I agree with you, bro, because at least, okay, what was the argument for Ruben Amorim last season? It was just a situation of, oh, he doesn't have his own players, he needs his own guys. It's a situation where Man United, we keep struggling, and with his formation and system, bro, players have to adapt, and I think preseason is the perfect time for him to adapt his philosophy, adapt what he wants from his players, bro. Yeah, we did offer 50 million, right? So now reports are coming out to say, hey, Edison, that deal is still on, bro. They're saying conversations are still on, and we offered more for Cunha. We offered more for Mbeumo. So if that's 60 million euros, that's around 50 something pounds. So I do think we'll go. We're going back for Edison, bro. We are going back for Edison. He's a nice Brazilian. I think he should be one of our main Edison, and then get a Richard Rios on the side. Richard Rios maybe 30 something million. So Edison, Richard Rios, that really transforms your whole midfield, bro. Your whole midfield, building a Brazilian core. You got Edison, you got Cunha, and maybe if you can afford Richard Rios, you bring him in, bro, because just build a team that's competent, that that can be consistent as well, and a team that's just scary, right? Other teams are scared of our team. Oh no, look at their midfield. Edison, Richard Rios. Yo, we don't want to play that. Yeah, we need players that do want to play for the club as well, bro. Like, okay, guys that want to be here, guys that want to achieve something at Manchester United. At least that should be the vision from the board. That should be the vision from the people doing all the transfers, all the things. So Man United, we are moving in silence in some of the deals, but get these main deals done, bro. Deals like Bryan and Mbeumo, deals if you do go for Gyökeres, get it done, right? I thought this week would be the week where we start focusing mainly on a striker, right? But now it looks like you're trying to do separate deals, right? Get this Mbeumo deal over the line, and then we can fully focus on strikers, midfielders, because I know some people say, okay, yeah, you can do multiple deals. But we know our situation, bro. We know our situation. We have to sell some players because we're spending too much. And now it's a situation where FFP will intervene if we don't start selling some of the guys. Guys like Rashford, guys like Sancho. We need to sell these guys right now, bro, because after you spend over 60 million for Mbeumo and Cunha, FFP might intervene, bro. The goalkeeper like Costa is apparently goalkeeper might be the last thing, bro. The last thing on our list because we know, we still have this headache of trying to get Mbeumo over the line. Still have this headache of trying to get a striker in, trying to get a midfielder. So I don't think they will prioritize a goalkeeper like Costa, bro, because even with Costa, what was his valuation? He wasn't gonna be cheap, bro. He wasn't gonna be cheap because they were quoting 75 million euros release clause, right? So he wasn't gonna be cheap, Costa. He wasn't genuinely gonna be cheap. So 75 million euros for a goalkeeper. I think that's your last worry, bro. That is your last worry. So we were also hearing Emi Martinez. He was cheaper than Costa, but I know a lot of fans they want Costa because one, he's younger. Two, we've seen what he's doing for his nation. Obviously, Emi Martinez as well. He's an insane goalkeeper with penalties, this and that. But Costa, it's just a price tag situation. Do I see us paying his release clause 75 M's? It's crazy, bro. It is crazy. Yeah, if we do buy a first team goalkeeper, probably Onana or Altai, one of them will leave, bro. But it looks like Onana is gonna stay. It looks like that man is here to stay. We might just see a situation where, okay, yeah, Onana becomes number 2, and then he's just playing Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, probably the first stages, the early stages, and then our new goalkeeper. Because we know, okay, if you do get a goalkeeper, probably it's gonna be a guy that's cheap. I know Ruben wants Costa, right? Ruben wants his Portuguese guy, right? He wants his Portuguese guy. But overall, do I see Man United paying 75 million euros for a goalkeeper, bro? Because we have other important positions like midfield and striker, bro. Yeah, bro. Hey, we're linked to so many goalkeepers though. And I think okay, some of the links are kind of fake because I think journalists they know Man United fans we hate Onana, so they're gonna link us to a lot of goalkeepers, bro. Yeah, 70 million quid, bro. Hey, hey. It's a lot of money though. It is a lot of money, but I see a situation where we might even pay that. But yeah, more news on Tyrell Malacia. This guy is coming back, bro. This guy is coming back. Tyrell Malacia, the club he was at didn't really want to pay that option to buy. And I don't know what are these options to buy. First, we saw with Sancho. If it's an option to buy, why aren't you buying him? It's an obligation to buy. Why aren't you buying them? So another obligation to buy falling apart, bro. Because with Sancho, his obligation to buy, now the guy is back, right? Tyrell Malacias, the guy's back as well. And with Tyrell, will we be able to sell this guy to a European club for more than 10 million, at least get more than 10 million, sell him to Saudi, send him to Saudi, but looks like he'll be part of the preseason. Him, Diego Leon, so a lot of left backs will be part of the team in preseason because I don't see a situation where we sell Tyrell Malacia in 20 days, right? 20 days until that preseason. Are we going to sell somebody like Tyrell Malacia? Same with Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, are we going to sell him in 20 days? So some of these guys we haven't sold are going to be part of that preseason, bro. We're going to be seeing them in preseason. Maybe Jadon Sancho might just be on the bench. Tyrell Malacia might just be on the bench because time is ticking, bro. Time is ticking. These guys are still here. These guys are still here, bro. You're saying Malasia wouldn't even start for under 21 team. We need to sell them. We need to sell them because it will be a situation where we're gonna see these guys for preseason, right? Same with Garnacho. Garnacho, we still haven't sold him. So a lot of the guys that were supposed to sell 1st of July, that's when officially they're back and they're officially a Man United player. Same with Sancho. 1st of July, he's officially a Man United player, back being a Man United player. Malacia, Man United player. Marcus Rashford, he's still a Man United player. So we might see these guys either on the bench if we don't sell him. Because is there a situation where the club just leave them behind and they're not part of preseason? That might happen as well, bro. That might happen as well, where they just leave them behind. But we saw from last season with Jadon Sancho, he went to the preseason. He went to the preseason after his loan to Dortmund. He came back. He was part of the preseason. He even played in the Community Shield. We remember that. Jadon Sancho, beginning of that season, he played in that community shield, right? Against Man City. He missed a penalty. So he will be part of the preseason, Jadon Sancho. Same with Rashford. I think these guys will be part of our preseason if we don't sell them in 20 days. Garnacho as well. So yeah, time is ticking, bro. Time is ticking. Some of these players, they need to go. But with Rashford, I do see a scenario where Ruben Amorim, him and Ruben, the relationship is gone between Rashford and Ruben Amorim. I do see a situation where we leave Rashford behind. Maybe even Garnacho. But Sancho, I don't think there's any problem with him and Ruben Amorim. Sancho, I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But with Jadon Sancho, we might see that man in preseason. So uh, we just need to sell some of them. At least we have some positive. Yo, Diego Leon, apparently July, first week of July, he's gonna be announced. So that's another positive. He's a talented young player. And there was like a picture of him traveling. Apparently, in the next 48 hours, he will be unveiled as a Man United player. So that's coming from a guy that is really reliable with Man United. So let's see if that is real. 48 hours, will Diego Leon be officially unveiled? Obviously, we'll see some pictures of him in the new shirt, in the new kit. We know that's what Man United do. We'll see an interview of Diego Leon as well. We know Man United and new signings, right? We signed Diego Leon a long time ago, but we didn't see him in pictures of him in a Man United shirt. We didn't see an unveiling. We didn't see an official announcement. It was just pictures of him doing like a medical things like that. He went back to South America and now he's back. We're gonna see pictures of him in a Man United shirt, maybe an interview as well. So yeah, Diego Leon is officially here, man. He's officially here. So, so much is happening with the club, bro. So much is happening. Tyrell is back. Sancho might be in that preseason. We still don't know what's going on with Mbeumo. We need to get that over the line. Yo, we're really busy in this transfer window, bro. We are really busy, but come on, just do your situation, do your deals, and also like a right wing back. Apparently, that might be something we consider, right? A right wing back might be something we consider, but yeah, Sancho, his wages, I just don't see us selling him like in 30 days. July, I see the Sancho situation just dragging on until the final days of the window, bro. It might be another loan because of these wages, and the guy doesn't want to go to Saudi. If you want money, go to Saudi, brother, because that's where they're gonna give you way more money, way more money. So yeah, Sancho, let's see what happens, man. They're saying compared to top six clubs, Chelsea and City, ah, yeah, bro. Compared to top six clubs, like we're not really showing a lot of ambition, right? We only like have one signing through Chelsea, Man City. They're making a lot of signings. Even Liverpool. I understand your worries, bro. I understand your worries. Other teams, other top six teams, they are doing some business, bro. Arsenal, Man United, we're the only guys that are moving a bit slow, but I think it's just because of this Mbeumo deal, bro. Because low key, you're working on a budget, right? You were working on a budget, so we gotta get past this deal first before you see, okay, how much money do we have left for this guy, for that guy, right? Get your priority signings like Mbeumo over the line, a striker over the line, because we are working on a budget. It's not like we have unlimited money. It doesn't matter what we spend on this guy. So maybe the board are looking at it in that type of perspective where, okay, yeah, let's maintain the amount we use, right? Because we don't want to overspend for this guy, and then the next transfer we don't have enough cash, because we know we're working on a budget, bro. We are working on a budget. It's like shopping for clothes, bro. You're not gonna, oh yeah, buy everything at the same time, and then you run out of money for important deals. So I think they're working on a budget. They're analyzing, okay, can we afford this? Can we afford that? Let's see how much we spend on this guy before we go for that guy, right? Let's see how much is remaining so that we can see, okay, yeah, maybe we might need to sell this guy to raise funds for that guy. So we're working on a budget, bro. We don't have unlimited money. So I understand why the transfers are low, but obviously as fans we will get frustrated. We want these deals to be a bit faster. We want these deals to be a bit quicker. We want to see these guys in preseason. I think every fan wants to see, okay, our new striker in preseason. We want to see our new midfielder in preseason, but sometimes it doesn't just work like that, bro. It doesn't. Yo, how you doing, bro? Like, ish. Let's just hope we get some deals done and dusted. At least preseason was smiling. I think that's the situation we all want to be in. And the next month, July, would be important, bro. July will determine, okay, who comes in, who goes out. Are we able to sell Sancho? Are we able to sell Marcus Rashford? Because these guys are still United players, bro. They are still genuinely United players, and it's just a situation of, hey, Casemiro as well. Casemiro staying. We heard reports of, hey, Casemiro might go to Saudi, but apparently those reports were fake. Casemiro is set to stay, so uh, we'll see. We still need to replace Christian Eriksen, and obviously Bryan and Mbeumo. That's the only thing on our minds. Get this guy over the line so that we can get a striker, man. So that we can genuinely get a striker. Gyökeres, we've heard so many statements from his camp. We've heard so many statements from the player himself. He put out some other Instagram post saying, Instagram story, sorry, it wasn't a post. Instagram story saying, hey, all will be revealed, right? I'm being held captive. He's trying to insinuate that, okay, yeah, something deeper is happening, right? Something deeper is happening with Gyökeres. Fabrizio Romano tried to break it down a bit, but we know that deal is gonna drag on as well. If we do go for Gyökeres, it's gonna be a situation where you might not really. It might be an Mbeumo situation. Gyökeres, if we do go for him, it might be an Mbeumo situation where your first bid gets rejected, your second bid is another situation. It might be like that, right? It might be a transfer that drags on. So if we do go for Gyökeres, I think fans, we just need to prepare and tell ourselves, okay, this is gonna be a long saga, bro. It's gonna be a long situation. It's just gonna be like the Mbeumo deal where the transfer is just dragging on, bro. You're saying expect the lid to be on fire next season. Yes. I think our defense is not as bad as the stats actually say. Obviously, if you just look at the stats, you think we have the worst defense ever, right? We conceded, I think, the third most goals, fourth most goals last season in the Premier League. So if you just see the stats, you'd think, hey, Man United, they have a horrific defense, right? They have horrendous defenders. They have one of the worst defense in the Premier League. But guys like De Ligt, they do have talent, bro. They do have talent. Guys like Aiden Heaven. You can even see Lenny Yoro, Martinez when he does come back. So defensively, I don't think we have a lot to worry about. I just think we conceded so many goals just based on so many factors, bro. Based on injuries as well. Our defenders, either one week they're injured, the next week. So there wasn't consistency with the back line, injuries as well, disorganization, bad tactics from Eric Ten Hag as well. That first part of Eric Ten Hag before he got fired, the horrible tactics. We know under Eric Ten Hag, we conceded so many goals. Of course, I'm not making excuses for Ruben Amorim. Even Ruben Amorim, we conceded a lot of goals. But so many factors just playing to part where Man United, the reason we conceded so many goals, right? Injuries, disorganization, bad tactics in some games, right? Onana mistakes. So it's not all down to the defense, bro. Our defense is gonna cook. I'm not really worried about defense, right? Our defense, we have a good core, a good foundation, right? De Ligt, you got Lenny Yoro, you got Martinez when he does come back, right? Harry Maguire as a bench player. You also have Aiden Heaven. So the foundation for center backs, it's there, bro. It's there. We got nothing to genuinely worry about when it comes to defense, bro. So it's just a situation of attack because we know last season it was just failing to score goals. That was the main issue, right? Week in, week out, it's either you're only scoring one goal or you're not scoring anything, bro. We saw so many games where you're failing to create, failing to score. So attack is where I agree with the board. Okay, strengthen this attack, get more goals, get more creativity because we just need a bit more for next season, right? And yeah, obviously Fabrizio Romano, he said what he needed to say, and he said, yo, keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this. Let me just play this one more time before
Hey, Mbeumo, many questions tonight, and so I wanted to do this video also to reply to Manchester United fans, because the reports are about Brentford rejecting a bid from Manchester United for Bryan Mbeumo. Guys, the understanding is that Brentford constantly mention in the talks they're having also with Manchester United the price tag of other players in the market when they mention Mbeumo. This is why they want more than what Manchester United offered with their second bid. But my understanding is not that Brentford rejected the bid and talks stopped. My understanding is that the conversations between Man United and Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo continue. So the two clubs are again in talks. The two clubs are trying to find a solution. Manchester United remain calm. Manchester United remain confident. Manchester United remain optimistic because the player, as I told you days ago, is giving total priority to Man United. Wants to go to Man United and told Brentford that he wants to go to Man United, as I told you a few days ago. So the position is very clear. He wants to wear red next season. Now Manchester United remain in active talks with Brentford to reach an agreement on the transfer fee. As of tonight, no agreement, But in the next days, this conversation will continue. May United will try to find a final solution for Bryan Mbeumo to join the club. But for sure, this story is still active, is still alive, is not over after a bid rejected or a proposal turned down. So relax and let's see what's going to happen.
So, hey, Fabrizio even saying, hey, fans just need to be calm, collective, relax. This deal will happen. This transfer is gonna happen for sure. For sure. We just need to until one of these guys say, okay, Man United have walked away from the Bryan and Mbeumo deal, then we can start panicking. But right now, it's not time to panic, bro. Relaxation right now. Relax as Man United fans. Just keep it simple, keep it calm. I know we want to see some of these players in preseason, but it's just an overall viewpoint of, okay, let's keep ourselves calm. It will happen. This deal is gonna happen. Fabrizio did give multiple updates, multiple videos we played on the stream. So I don't think I still believe he's gonna be a United player. It's just about, okay, which striker are we gonna bring in, which midfielder are we gonna bring in, other players, who are we gonna sell, when are we gonna sell these guys. So it's just a situation of other deals. I think this Bryan and Mbeumo deal, fans just need to be confident, man. Fans just need to be patient. It's gonna happen. Yeah, still no word on Marino contract extension, bro. Like, but with United, we heard another academy player signing a pro contract. He's 16 years old. He signed a pro contract. So behind the scenes, we are getting these contracts over the line. I do believe we might extend one or two players in the club their contract, because we saw Tom Heaton, he got a contract extension. Maybe one or two might get a contract extension as well, because the players we didn't want, we let go of them. Christian Eriksen is gone, Lindelof is gone. And with the Luke Shaw situation, bro, a lot of fans are asking, okay, Luke Shaw, what's gonna happen with this guy, right? Because we know Dogu is there, Diego Leon is coming. So Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, keep an eye on those two, bro. Keep an eye on those two. Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia. We know Mason Mount, he's gonna stay at Man United. He's here to stay. He's here to fight for his place. Fabrizio Romano did confirm that news, bro. Like, oh, Mason Mount, he's not going anywhere. But guys like Luke Shaw, still no confirmation of, okay, what's going to happen to Luke Shaw? What's going to happen to somebody like Tyrell Malacia? Will he stay, or will we try and just sell him? I think we will sell him. So if we don't sell Malacia, we might sell Luke Shaw. But I won't be shocked if we sell both of them, Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia, bro. I won't be shocked with that situation. Yeah, Kobe Maino. Hey, Kobe Maino is here to stay as well. We heard Fabrizio. Fabrizio gave an update that, okay, Kobe Maino wants to stay, right? It's just a situation of agreeing a contract. Same, like, it's just contract negotiations, bro. Contract negotiations, bro. Like with Kobe Maino, contract negotiations. But yeah, I just wanna thank everybody that joined this stream, man. Just a quick update on what's genuinely going on. And obviously we were panicking about this Bryan and Mbeumo deal when Sky Sports came out to say, hey, this deal has been rejected. I thought, oh no, here we go again. We won't get the guy we want, right? Because I don't want a situation where we're going for plan B, right? We're going for, just get your plan A's. If Mbeumo is your plan A, get your plan A. I don't want a situation where we're going for plan B. We're going for a player where it wasn't planned out, right? It wasn't planned out by the board, by the people at United. So let's just get our plan A's, and then should we start that preseason on a high, start that preseason with the players that are gonna be playing next season, bro. So yeah, just want to thank everybody that joined the stream. But overall,